15 to 20 minutes.
15 minutes. Good morning, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and so many guests here. Welcome you all to this meeting and my session on how to navigate through Pathways. Pathways is the educational program in Toastmasters. For everyone who joins Toastmasters follows that program. There are 6 different paths in Pathways, and in each path there are 5 levels, level 1 to level 5, starting from fundamentals to becoming expert or mastering the art of speaking. I want to make it a little interactive. I will be asking questions. Generally, we do not come forward with the answers unless we are pointed at. So I will be pointing at some people to ask the question and get the answers. Seshachalam, what are you explaining to our guest?
What is Pathways?
What is Pathways? Okay, that's good. So, if you have any doubts, I am here to answer. Please ask me. I do not want any parallel conversations here. Okay. That is kind of loud. Okay. Pathways is the educational program of Toastmasters. We have 6 different paths. Okay. For example, presentation mastery is a path where you do not have to do any team projects. There are projects that require you to form a team and do some projects. Those kind of projects are required in some other paths called dynamic leadership or visionary communication, persuasive influence, and motivational strategies. These are 4 paths which require you to do some projects involving a team. That again those projects come only in the level 4 or 5. Maybe some projects may come in level 3. But up to level 3, you may be doing speeches on your own. Okay? The other path where you have to only give speeches to go through Pathways is engaging humor. Humor is very difficult for many of us. It's easy to make others cry, but it is very difficult to make people laugh or smile. Okay. So these are all the different paths and paths. Now, let me ask you a question. Why we should be able to speak or communicate well? Can you
convey the message?
To convey the message. So, whenever you are giving a speech, you have to have a message. Mostly, sometimes you are sharing your experience, you went on a vacation, you just come back and share your experience. But there are other times when you will be giving your message. For example, in Seshachalam's speech, he explained up to the end very jovially many different, his experience with swimming. Towards the end, he said, what was the message? You have to die for life. Something like that, right? That message was there. It's all about communicating what we want to say to others. Either we can talk about ourselves, saying that, okay, just like Neha said, she is very punctual. She has an OCD about punctuality. There are some people, if it is at 10 o'clock, only at 10 o'clock they will start from their hostel or they will get up. And by the time they reach at 10:30, the class may be about to end, but they will not feel anything. Okay, so it all depends. You can talk about yourself, your characteristics, your core values or anything, because we are all different and how we are wired, we only know, and we can convey what we want to tell others. Now, starting from icebreaker speech that Neha gave today. In all paths, starting is icebreaker speech because that is where you begin, your speeches very comfortably because you are going to talk about yourself. You don't have to do a lot of research about what you have to speak. Only thing is you need to have a structure for that speech. In any Toastmaster speech, it is recommended to have an opening, body and conclusion. I started my educational session simply by saying good morning. Instead, I could have asked how comfortable you are about public speaking, being in front of audience, something like that. Like Sesha Salam asked, do you know swimming, or how many of you have swum in the past, something like that. You can have that. So in the second speech in level 1, the first speech is icebreaker, the second one is speaking with a purpose. The purpose can be anything. It can be different types of purpose. You want to just inform the audience, or entertain the audience, inspire the audience, or persuade the audience. For example, you are a stickler to rules. You follow traffic rules to the dot, let us say. You want to convey that as a message. For example, wearing seat belt or wearing helmet, all that. You can talk about that in a persuasive way. That is a purpose. Or you saw a movie, a mocha movie, and then you want to share that sorrowful experience with the audience. You can make it as an entertaining speech. Even you can make mockery about yourself. Self-deprecation is a technique. So when you want to entertain audience, you can talk about your OCDs to the audience. That is one way. So any speech needs to have a purpose to inform or entertain, persuade or inspire. This is what Toastmasters is. So that is the second speech in level 2. The third speech is introduction to body language and vocabulary. As you all know, non-verbal communication forms about 97% of our speech. Only 7% is for the verbal communication. If the speech about swimming was just like the told standing here, swimming is important. I went for that swimming. I got drowned in the pool, and my friends came and rescued, and I pulled them down. That won't sound nice, right? The way he was doing, gasping, panting, all that, that is required. Vocal variety is required and body language is required. So that is our third project. The fourth project is about evaluation and feedback. In Toastmasters, we get the feedback the very same day, in the very same meeting. After the table topic session, we are going to have the evaluation session where the speakers are evaluated by the speech evaluators. Apart from that, we have the timer, counter and grammarian to tell us different aspects of our speech. How, whether we used very good phrases or did we use too much of filler words, things like that. Okay, that is all about evaluation and feedback. What happens is you have to give one speech in the club, get the feedback from the evaluator, and then incorporate that feedback and deliver another speech. That is what is about evaluation and feedback. As part of that project, all are called projects. As part of that project, you also need to evaluate another person's speech. You don't have to be, completing level 2, level 3, level 4 all. Even in level 1, you need to start evaluating another person's speech, because evaluation also is a skill to be learned. In Toastmasters, you develop and learn many skills or competencies we call. So in level 1, as I said, you introduce yourself and speak with a purpose, introduce vocal variety, body language, and get evaluated, give feedback to others. Okay, at this point, do you have any questions? Before I go to the level 2. Okay, I have a question. Why are you in Toastmasters?
To develop my leadership skills.
To develop leadership. Okay. As I said, out of the 6 parts, 4 parts are helping you to develop and improve your leadership skills. Tojo is a member of the executive committee. Every club will have an executive committee consisting of 7 club officers. They all have different roles. The president of the club is like the CEO of the entity. They oversee everything. Okay. Now, where do you think you are lacking when it comes to public speaking? Can you say something?
Structured form actually.
Structure.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So the structuring of the speech you will start learning right from the first project or even the second project as you go through. The resources that we have in Toastmasters is called base camp. In the base camp, for every project, there will be manuals, project manuals, which give you a lot of instructions about how to identify a topic, how to develop the script, how to rehearse and how to deliver in the meeting. So you will learn all that. Well, now let's go to the level 2. In level 2, most of the parts will have 2 different projects. Minimum one about learning about different communication styles and identifying your dominant communication style. Okay. Any guesses on what are the different types of communication styles? Anyone who has done level 2?
Authoritative leadership.
Huh? That's about leadership, about communication style.
Communicating with telling some real stories or real experiences or in a humorous way, like that.
Right.
Autocratic.
Autocratic. See, direct communication. Sometimes we give the message in a very roundabout way. There are times we give direct message. Or it can be something like being analytical. Sometimes we try to give a lot of information. When somebody says yoga is good, somebody may say yoga is good, but the other person, if that person is analytical type, that person will prepare a lot of data. Okay, do you have any evidence? How are you saying yoga is good? So this project talks about different communication styles and how to deal with the person who has a different communication style. You may be like emotionally speaking, wow, this is good, that is good, all that, but somebody else may be looking for data, evidence, and the like. So how you communicate with people of different communication style, that is one project. You have to share your experience or your own perspective about communication styles. Then there is another project called leadership style. Again, there are different types of leadership styles. For example, democratic, it can be service-centered leadership or autocratic. All those different kinds of leadership styles are there. You can identify. There will be a questionnaire. You need to answer that. Once you answer that, it will tell you what is your predominant or dominant leadership style. Then you can, again, the way you deal with others, you can change. See, Toastmasters is not all about only talking, it's also about transforming some of your characteristics, learning about different styles, communication or leadership styles, all that. The third project in level 2 is about introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. In Toastmasters, when you join, you will be assigned a mentor. The members of Nagar Orators Club, if you do not have a mentor, please raise your hand. Okay. Or you do not have a mentor yet. Okay. We will see to it that you are assigned a mentor. You are already assigned a mentor, but they have not communicated with you, it seems. Okay. Okay. Everyone will be assigned a mentor. The difference between a coach and a mentor is generally a coach is doing something for a limited period of time as far as Toastmasters definition is concerned, and they will try to say how you have to do. That is a coach. When it comes to mentor, they understand what your needs are. Based on that, they will give you guidance and suggestions. They will not try to push you into something. If you want to go slow and steady, they will help you to be slow and steady. If you want to run fast, they will help you run fast. That is how Toastmasters mentoring is envisioned. So in the third project, what you need to talk about is your experience as a mentee. Actually, the word that is used is protege. I do not know the pronunciation of the protege correctly, so sometimes I don't want to use that word. I always use mentee. That is, I don't know whether it's a proper word or not, but that's a word. So you talk about your experience as a mentee in that speech. So this is about level 2. In all the paths up to level 2, the projects are fixed. Level 3 and above, 4, 5. There will be some required project, something like a core project in many disciplines. We study core projects, core subjects, and then we have electives. In level 3, level 4 and level 5, you will have elective projects, which you can choose from anything. In level 2 also, the second project will be based on the path. For example, in presentation mastery, if you have taken, the second project will be effective body language. Where in level 1 you did introduction to body language. You may start doing something. See, when we talk about body language, it could be gestures, expressions, and movements and stance. How do you stand? Everything matters. So in effective body language, more detailed things will be there. You need to develop your body language and then give a speech. This is all about level 1 and level 2. Any questions at this point? Yeah.
What is the exact meaning of mentee?
Mentee. I am the mentor. Let's say he is my mentee, protege. Protege is the person who receives it. Okay? Yeah. The mentee is the person who receives the guidance from the mentor. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Now, talking about managing a difficult audience. It's a project in level 4, I think. In this project, you are learning how to counter the people who are trying to disrupt your speech. You have to handle audience in a very, very politically correct manner without offending them. At the same time, continuing with your speech, not getting halted by that speech. That is how. So you develop so many competencies as part of your Toastmasters journey. As you go up level 3, level 4, level 5 and all. In level 5, for example, for engaging humor and presentation mastery, you need to give a long speech. Up to that point, there will be variations of 5 to 7 minute speech or 10 to 12 minute speech, all that. But when it comes to level 5 presentation mastery speech, it is for 18 to 22 minutes. In Toastmasters, we mostly try to be frugal with words and sentences. We try to pack many things into that 5 to 7 minutes. Okay? You may want to talk for long, but then the time allowed is only 5 to 7 minutes. Whereas only when you come to that level 5, you have to give a long speech, 18 to 20 minutes. Also, there is something called the high performance leadership project. In high performance leadership project, you need to form a team of 3 or more members, and you need to have a guidance committee, and then you need to do something worthwhile, either for your club or district or community or the office. Something, it can run for 3 to 6 months as a project, and then you deliver a speech. In the beginning, you have to say what you want to accomplish, and at the end you have to talk about what you had accomplished or not, and share your experience. So this way, as you progress through the pathways, you will gain more and more confidence in facing the audience, structuring your speech, making the audience inspired or motivated. All that you will develop, and personally also you will go through a lot of transformation. Okay, one important thing that you will learn is listening. Okay, no other place in any other kind of meeting you will be listening intently like this. At home, nobody listens to me. At office, people may not listen to us. But in Toastmasters, that during that 5 to 7 minutes when you give a speech, everyone will be paying attention to you. and evaluator will be listening to it more critically because they need to identify what went well and what needs to be improved, things like that. Okay, so that way we improve our listening skills. We also improve many competencies. If you are part of the leadership team, for example, the Vice President Education is responsible for organizing the meeting, preparing the agenda, and there will be last minute dropouts, especially in a budding club like this. People may opt for roles and then suddenly they may not even turn up. So those kind of things will happen. Overall, you will be developing many skills as a Toastmaster. So all the guests, I invite you to attend few more meetings, and once you are convinced, I am very positive that you will be convinced, become a Toastmaster and become a better person. Back to you,